giving everybody minutes to get logged on here before we begin. Oh, we got one person in. I wonder who's in. Who came in? Hi, whoever's in. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of begin talking, and then as people join in, if you have any questions, any skill you want me to look at in particular, just let me know, and I can certainly work on that skill with you. So when I'm looking at this very first shape, we know that volume can be found by actually counting the number of unit cubes that it takes to fill a three-dimensional object. Oh, good, Nehemiah, you're coming to school tomorrow. Nehemiah, technically we have a test tomorrow. I don't know if you're ready for it or not. You might just want to use tomorrow to review with me in class while everybody else is taking the test. If you feel comfortable attempting the test, you can do that as well. It's really completely up to you, but I certainly would not make you take one. I was missing you today. I told everybody that you were on live stream, so pretty cool. Okay, so again on this one though, the important thing, concept to realize is that volume is found by counting the amount of connecting cubes that it takes to fill this entire object. And again, it needs to be completely full, not how many objects can go in it, but how many objects it would take to fill it up. And the example we gave in class today was if I have a fish aquarium and I say I can put in a teaspoon, that's not the same thing as filling it up. So so in this instance, of course, we don't need to count it. It's already labeled for us, but I could multiply my three dimensions, length times width times height. I actually noticed here that they didn't label the width. They labeled the height here, and they labeled height here. They didn't label the width. So you would actually need to count that out and see if it's 8. It looks like a cube, so it probably is actually 8. Hey, Ava! See, I did it just for you. It came on. So when I look, my lighting is so bad, guys. I'm sorry. I'm hiding out in my stepson's bedroom because, you know, my children and all that. But anyways, if I could count back here, I can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, so this is a cube. So it is 8 times 8 times 8, and that would give you your volume, no big deal. Same thing with here. While this one, you don't have the connecting cubes, you would still multiply your 3 dimensions. Now, what I'm going to do, because I know this is always our biggest struggle, is finding the volume of a composed rectangular prism, where you have 2 rectangular prisms connected and not an overlapping. And I'll draw the L one that we kind of looked at today in class. I know we've done several different configurations of it, but you're just going to have to forgive me of my sloppy artwork because I'm tired. So let's do something like make my little diagonal lines, something like this. Not perfect, but it's good. All right, so you can at least see that it's a 3-dimensional figure. So let's say that this length is 3. You're so good at drawing. I'm so good at drawing poop. She's got a poop emoji. Let's just say this one is 3. This side is 7. We got a 5 here. Let's put width. Let's do a 2 for the width, and let's do a 2 for this one as well. Okay, so if I want to find the volume of a composed rectangular prism, I have to divide it into 2 separate rectangles. So these of you who are drawing a line here, diagonal, no, that's not a rectangle. You need to either go across or down. It has to make 2 rectangular faces. So let's just say I wanted to do it going vertically. Boom. Since I've split this side up, it's no longer 5. So before I even move, oh, she said across and I did down. Oh, sorry. I'll do a cross just for you. So since you're on, why not? Hey, Chloe! Yay, Chloe's in the room. We got 3. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to draw a line going across because she wanted to do across. So since I divided this side up, it's no longer 7. So I need to figure out what is this chunk and what is this chunk. Do I see this piece here labeled? No, I have no clue what that height is. Do I see the height on this one labeled anywhere? Right, this one is 2. So now if I know this one is 2, I can figure out this missing length now because I knew the whole thing was 7. This piece of it is 2. So what is the missing length going to be here then? Very good. It is going to be 5. I'm going to try to reposition so I have better lighting. The lighting is atrocious. And now I got a terrible shadow. So, you know, you win, you lose. And mostly lose. Trying to see how could I angle this. Oh, I should have done this in a different room. Oh, well. All right, so let's just go with it. And yeah, okay, so Ava said the length here is going to be 5. Wow, that's super blurry. There you go. She said that the length here is going to be 5, and we knew that because if the whole thing is 7 and this piece was 2, which I saw over here, then that means that that piece is 5. So do I have my length here? And yes, I do because it's 3 up here, so I've got my length of this prism. What is the width of this prism? I don't see it labeled. Oh, you're right. If I follow it all the way around, I could see that the width of this prism is also 2. So I've got the length. The length is 3. I've got the width as 2, and I've got my height as 5. So now I am able to find the volume of this prism here. Gosh, the blurriness is killing me. The whole conversation thread just popped up. That's funny, junk. That's funny. Go away. Okay, there we go. All right, better. So do I know the length of this one? Yes, width, height. Okay, so I'm going to first find the length, width, and height of the first figure, length, width, height of the second. So what is the length of the first figure? Right, we determined it was 3 times the width times my height. And I put groupings. Obviously, you know, with PEMDAS, you wouldn't need to put groupings anyways. Oh, we got somebody else came in. Hey, hey. Hey, girl, hey. Or I guess maybe, hey, boy, hey. That's not as fun, though. Hey, girl, hey is so fun. Such a nut. All right, so all you'd have to do is very quickly, you could multiply 3 times 2 is 6 times 5. And 6 times 5 is 30. So the volume of this rectangular prism is 30 units cubed. And now I need to look at the volume of the second. So in the second, length, width, height, what 3 numbers would I be multiplying? Right, my length is 5 times my width is 2 times my height is 2. 5 times 2 times 2. So 5 times 2 is 10. Times 2 more is 20. And you could very quickly add together 20 and 30. Your total volume would be 50. And then units cubed, or 50 cubic units. No problem. Okay, so I'm going to draw another one. I'm not necessarily going to go through the whole math process. What I want to go through with you, because what is the difficult part, is you guys just figuring out the actual lengths. So let's go with the L, because I'm super great at drawing that L. In reality, I'm much better at drawing that L than probably anything else. Chum, 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 chum. You like those sound effects? Yeah, that's what happens when you're going on like no sleep, but that's cool. You get delirious. Look at how terrible that was. Holy cow. All right, there we go. That's much better. All right, so let me give this one, let's do 9 for this. So let's say I've got 3, 9, 8, 2. I don't even know if this is gonna work out. Why not? Yeah, okay, whatever. It doesn't really make a difference. All right, so let's just say those are your given lengths. You can draw a line and divide it here or divide it here. What you need to understand is once you draw that line to divide it, you've got to adjust this number into 2 parts because you've cut this rectangular prism into 2 parts. So last time we went across, let's do this one going down so that you can see that it really doesn't make a difference. So if I do this one going down, I need to immediately adjust this 8 because now this whole thing is 8, but it's 2 different pieces that add together to equal 8. Is this piece labeled on how long it is? No, when I follow it around, the length is not labeled on this piece. Is this piece got the length labeled? Right, this piece is 3. So if this piece is 3 and I know this whole length is 8, then this piece right here should be 5 because 3 and 5 is how I have that total of 8. So now I should be okay to multiply my dimensions. So first prism, what is my length? My length is 3. Width, oh, how wide is it? I don't see it labeled, huh? Oh, if you follow it all the way around, you should see that it actually is labeled here. The width is 2. And my height for figure 1 is 9. So it's not so bad if you look at it as this is as soon as I draw that line, I'm going to cut that hole into the 2 parts, part hole. Okay, plus, and now same thing, figure 2. We decided the length was 5 times the width is 2 and the height is 3. Now I'm not going to go through this actual multiplication. I understand you guys are really great at multiplication. The difficult part really is just knowing how to break up that hole. Now vice versa, you could have used that same prism and partitioned your line going here. And so in this instance, instead of breaking up the 8 would stay together as a length with height. I could do 8 times 2 times 3. But since I broke up this 9, I would need to indicate that here. Is this piece labeled? No. Is this piece labeled? Yes. If this is 3, then this other part here should be 6. 3 plus 6 is where we had that total of 9. So then length, do I have a length? Very good. If you follow your length, the length is labeled up top. Do I have a width? Follow it around, your width is labeled here. So again, once you cut it, immediately break those 2 pieces apart, break that number into those 2 pieces, and it really is a lot simpler to look at. So those of you who are on live, really this is your time to ask questions. Is there anything in particular that you want me to go over before we take our test mañana? Look, I just showered, so I kind of look slavish. You can see my stepson's very messy bedroom. Look at that, his bed is unmade. His TV is over there. He's got a bike in his room, because why not? Yeah, anyways, anything in particular you want to go over? Obviously, we've talked about if you are looking for a missing dimension, like if you're looking for, let's say the height is given, like let's say it gives you, let me think of something. Let's say it says the volume is 240 cubic units and the height is 12 units. They want you to find a possible base. So let's say they give you this and you need to find a possible base. What operation would you do to find the base? Right, if you remember that volume equals length times width times height, or volume equals base times height, you could plug in these numbers. 240 is equal to base times 12. And you could apply the relationship between multiplication and rewrite it as division. And you could do 240 divided by 12. I can't do 2 divided by 12, but I could do 24 divided by 12. 24 could go into 12 2 times. 2 times 12. Whoops. 2 times 12. Wow, that was a fail. That's what happens when I skip steps. 2 times 12 is 24. You drop down your 0. Indicate that in your place of value that 0 can go into 12 0 times. And you get 20 as the total of the base. And if you needed to come up with 2 dimensions for the base, remember your base is your length times your width. So any factor pairs that you have that could multiply together to equal 20. So you could have 20 times 1 as a possible base. We could have 5 times 4 as a possible base. We could have 10 times 2 as a possible base, and you could flip those. So we talked about drawing that in class. I would draw like 4 units down and 5 units across, and that would give me my 20 units would be in their total kind of thing. So again, anytime you're looking for a possible base, you're just going to divide the volume by your height. That will give you your base, and then what 2 numbers can multiply together to equal that base. Same thing if you're looking for a possible height. If you're looking for a possible height, and they give you your length and your width. So let's say they actually told me that my length was 4, my width was 5, find your height. And they said it equaled 240. I would do the same thing. I would go through, I would multiply these 2 numbers as 20 and rewrite it as division. What is the relationship between multiplication and division? And when I divide this out, I would actually end up with 12, which I guess I'll do 240. Oh my gosh, you know why I'm not getting any comments? Because my chat is turned off, so that's fun. Says show chat, so if you asked a question, you should probably re-ask it, because for whatever reason it didn't, none of the chat's been coming up. Dude. 240 divided by 20. 20 can go into 24 one time, which would leave you with 40. 40 can go into 20. See, Ava, LOL, girl. And you'd have 0. So same exact thing. I think you guys are getting pretty good about remembering to apply that relationship between multiplication and division to multiply and divide. So are there any other skills that you want me to go over before we end it for now? Because I know that I told you as I try to go on again later, probably around 8 or 8:30. That way our few friends who have late sports have that chance as well. Whoa, dude, that's cool. I miss school. We miss you, Nehemiah. How cool is that, by the way? Wait, what? Ready? Dream mode. Ooh, dream of math. Dream of how to do compositions. Wow, I'm such a dork. That's so cool, though, right? Totally, it's cool. Let's see what other effects there are on here. Oh my gosh. Hey, Jonathan. Oh, here's another one. Oh, that's kind of eerie right there. Wow. Wow, that's so eerie. It's so cool though, right? Totally. So, any other skills you want me to go over with you while you're dreaming? Oh, haunting. This is called the haunt. There's your silver screen. That's sepia. That is documentary. Uh-huh. That is called Dawn. We've got brown there. This is beam. That beam is boring. So is glamour. That's glamour. That's boring. That is the coolest thing on earth right there. That is dream. Dance party. Whoa, hold on. Wait, this one's great. Ready for this? Bubbles. Dude, I totally never knew you could do that. I am such a dork. Wow. Okay, so there's that. I guess I'll do one more of these for tonight unless there are any other requests, just because I know that this is the piece that finding that number. I love Bubble. Me too, girl. Bubble was pretty neat. All right, let's try. I'm going to give you another one with a missing length. And I mean, I could do an L upside down and it's still the same thing. So, and it's always going to be where you're just going to divide at one time in 5th grade. Our standard is 2 non-overlapping rectangular prisms. So I suppose at some point in some grade you would get to a point where you might have overlapping rectangular prisms. That would be nuts. I don't know. All right, whatever. It's not the most beautiful picture in the world. So let's say that this is 5, 2, 2, and why not 2 here too? Whatever. It doesn't matter. Is that supposed to say it's hallucinated? Oh, it's haunted. I was like, what? We got 5, 2, and 2. But I need to find the volume of this entire prism, knowing that this is 5. So when I divide this, I can either divide across or I can divide up and down. It doesn't really matter. If I divide going up and down, this is the chunk that I just broke up and decided that I was going to divide, so I need to break up that 5 as part 1 and part 2. Do we know, I want you to look at the dimensions that are there, do you know one of these 2 lengths? One of them you should know. Right, this one is 2 because it's actually labeled there. So if this side is 2, then that means that this part would have to be 3, because 2 plus 3 is going to be what gives you that 5. My phone keeps typing stuff I don't want to type. Oh, wow. That's kind of, maybe it's haunted like my filters. Potty mode. Okay, it actually does. Probably not a good idea. Anyway, psych. So, okay, so I can multiply my length times my width, how wide it is, times my height for figure 1. So you'd be multiplying 2 times 2 times 2. Look at figure 2. What is your length of figure 2? How long is it laying down? Right, 3. How wide is it? 2. Well, I don't know why I did that. 3 times 2. Oh, I probably should have actually labeled another one of these lengths. How long is it going downward? So you should notice the length of it going downward. If I label this one as 3, and this one's labeled as 2, 3 and 2 means going downward, that the length is 5. All right, I'll see you later, Ava. See you tomorrow. Have a good night. And if I see you later tonight too, well, then I will go through filters again just for you. There's your bubbles. Have a good night. And so I can go through, and now the big concept is once you split that, wherever you decide to partition it, take that side that's labeled and split it up into its pieces, and there's your length. It's not really a whole lot to it. So any other questions before we log out for tonight? Really, anything you want me to go over with you, this is the time to do it. Ooh, dream about math. Ooh. Okay. 6. Where did you get 6? Ooh, yeah, mine said that's funny. John, the length I added was this 2, which you probably couldn't see too well, plus this 3. The 2 plus the 3 is what gave me the total length of 5. I really think, in all honesty, the test is easy. It just takes a little bit of time because those select alls are a lot of multiplication, so it's really just taking your time with that. Alright guys, well I'm going to go for now. I'll probably come back on around 8:30 if you decide you want to come back on for those other friends who asked for a later time. Other than that, we'll do a very brief review before we take their test tomorrow, but I'm sure you guys are going to do great. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.